Die Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung lud gemeinsam mit der Heinrich-Böll-Stiftung und Google Deutschland zu einem Gesprächsabend ein. Am 26. Mai versammelten sich rund 150 Interessierte in der Akademie der KAS zum Thema The Future of Security and Open Standards on the Internet.
Also es ist nicht nur ein technisches, sondern ein politisches Thema, das wir hier heute auch diskutieren, was die Zukunft der Sicherheit und offener Standards im Internet angeht.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my sincere pleasure and honor to introduce to you Vint Cerf, who's our chief internet evangelist. He joined Google in 2005, and he's really one of the great technology leaders of our time.
So, vielen Dank, guten Nachmittag, meine Damen und Herren. Es freut mich sehr, hier in Berlin wieder zu kommen. But I have forgotten most of my German, so you forgive me, I'm going to switch again to English. The internet would be nothing without the open standards that make it work. The process has been open from the very beginning. The internet does not know anything about the applications that you're running. That's important because that means you can put another application on the internet without changing the network. And so what has happened over the course of 37 years is that as the network has become bigger, and as the network has become faster, new kinds of applications have been made possible without changing the network itself. Now, we are in the middle of some fairly major changes to the internet today. One of the changes has to do with the format of, if you like, these little internet postcards. There's a second major change which is happening, and this has to do with the domain name space of the internet. One thing that we all, I think, appreciate is that the network is not as secure as we would like it to be. It's not as safe for people to use as we would like it to be. Okay, so what do we do about that? Well, one answer is we make more paranoid browsers.
Okay, I have a follow-up question to the speech congestion thing earlier. So where do you draw the line and what are your implications for regulation?
Because I don't particularly want the underlying transport system to have to know what kind of traffic I'm moving. I generally resist the idea that the network is looking inside the packets to figure out what kind of packet is it.
What is your opinion about telephony companies still charging interconnection charges amongst themselves?
First of all, with regard to voice service specifically, there are regimes that have been around for a very long time about voice charging. I think it's going to be very hard to change those regimes. There are business models and companies that are built around it. Internet has a very disruptive potential to change the economics of old business models.
Very last question from the Dory page. How will the internet look like in 2025? Maybe we can come back in 14 years and see whether your answer was actually right.
This is really a dangerous question, right? Because this is one which might be within my lifetime, and you can check to see whether my answer was right or not. Well, we know what the trends are. We know that internet is continuing to spread. There are 2 billion people now. There will be 4 or 5 billion people by the end of the decade. So by 2020, I would guess 70% of the world's population will be online at least. Second, we know that bandwidths are going up, partly because of economics, and that we will see more physical internet implementations through that period of time. It's so hard to predict what the next 15 years are going to look like, because if we look back 15 years, things are happening we wouldn't have predicted. And we know that because this is not linear, that our ability to recognize the non-linear target is very, very difficult. So I honestly wish I could give you a real answer to the question, but I don't know. The best I can say is we're going to have to live through it.